Well, today I want to talk to you about online gaming. And I know what you're thinking right away. Not for me, right? Well, wait, just hang in there with me for a minute. I'm going to talk to you about some things that are easy, things you can do to connect with your grandchildren. Stay tuned. So, we're continuing our series on the connecting with your grandchildren, and this one is on online gaming. So I'm going to show you and talk to you about some things that are easy to do, things that I think will be helpful for you as you try to connect with your grandchildren across the internet. Now, I've already talked to you about how to connect in a video call. So if you haven't caught the other episodes that are within this mini-series, I would encourage you to go back and listen to those. They'll help you to get the basis for which I'm going to be talking to you today. So I'm going to assume that you have a video call with your grandchildren and you've had enough time to chit-chat about with them about regular things, and you're starting to look for things to do. And so that's where online gaming comes into play. And we've had some real successes here. I just want to share what things we've experienced and what's really been helpful for us as we've tried to connect with our grandchildren. So the very premise of the most of what we've done with gaming has been in groups with kids from different households across the internet. And we'll get on to one of those bigger calls that we talked about that are periodic. And we'll try to come up with some games that we can do together with the kids. Now, some of these are homemade games. Some of them you would either purchase or make yourself. And then some of them are subscription-based. Those are the things that I'm going to be talking about today. So first of all, for homemade, I want to talk about a game called word guessing. You may know it as Hangman, but I'm going to kind of give you the correct way now to do a game like that without having the Hangman character that we come to know. What we did with our grandkids, this was the ages of like 3 to even up to 12, is that we would have these joint calls together, and everyone would have a video connection to be able to see. We would take a piece of paper and we would draw on it the line for each letter of the word that we're going to have them guess. And then ahead of time, what it helps to do is prepare these sheets of paper which have the alphabet all written out in below, so that you can cross out those letters of the alphabet as you use them. But you can do this without having that preparation if you instead write your words that are guessed incorrectly down the bottom. But anyway, you instead of when one of the kids guesses a letter and it's correct, you just write it into the blank. If they've guessed if they've guessed correctly, you write it into the blank. If they've guessed incorrectly, then you draw a portion of something that an animal perhaps, or some common figure. Maybe if it's seasonal, you would draw a Santa Claus or a bunny or something else that would be recognizable to the kids. And you keep the guessing game going until the word is filled in correctly, and then you do another word. You could have a few words picked out ahead of time so that you know. It really does help to prepare yourself ahead of time before you play the game, so that you can lead as the kids are anticipating and keep the ball rolling with them so they know what's going on. So that's word guessing. As a second suggestion, we did some drawing together with the kids. And what we've done with them is we've had some characters picked out ahead of time by just doing a Google search for step-by-step drawing. And on the internet you will find plenty of suggestions of pictures, and they show you step-by-step how to make a picture of your choice. For example, you could do a hamburger or a car, and these are easy to do if you do them just one shape at a time, and then show it to the kids by either holding the paper up as you draw one portion, or like I showed you with the the desk view option that was available through Apple. You can see the picture as you draw it. But then the kids will go ahead and do each step along with you, and then they can complete the drawing. And then maybe take a few minutes to let them color it in. It's helpful to talk to the parents ahead of time about some of the supplies you would need. So we've done that and asked them to have pencils and crayons and paper, blank paper, and all of these things prepared ahead of time help the call to go along smoothly. So that's just drawing together, and it's actually quite easy to do. So if you wanted to purchase some games or even make these on your own, you can do a couple of games that I'm going to suggest. Bingo, for example, is one that's easy to do. It doesn't have to be numbers, though. You can find seasonal bingo games online. We've done bingo for Easter or Christmas, where you can find a board that's prepared with different symbols of the holiday filled into the different squares, and then the idea is to call out that symbol as you pull the picture out from your pile of blanks. And the kids will all play that along. Of course, you can play regular bingo too. These are very inexpensive to purchase, and if you just mail them out ahead of time to the families, they'll have them and have them handy, and the squares can be covered over with coins or little scraps of paper. You can also play a game which we found a lot of fun, especially works with older kids, but it doesn't have to be, called Blank Slate. You can play this even with your own children as a connection to the parents sometime. Blank Slate is a game that's kind of fun where you have a word, and then you're looking for them to fill in the blank of an accompanying word that goes with that word. And the game gets fun because you give out points based on whether people chose and matched with other people that guess the same word. You get more points if you come up with a word that's more unique or matched only with one other player. So check out Blank Slate. You can make this game yourself if you learn how to play it, but you only need this game on the host side. So you purchase one copy of the game, and they can just work with blank pieces of paper on the other side of your call. So that's a suggestion for you. Then lastly, I want to talk to you about games that you can subscribe to. And here's where we've had some really good success with connecting with the kids that were a little past the games that I've been talking to you about thus far, but still wanting to be able to connect with them. 12 years old or so, but it could be 8 to 12. We found a game called Minecraft. And actually, this game was something that my grandson was really into. And his parents hadn't yet delved into how to play the game or wanted to delve into it. So that gave me an opportunity to connect with him. And so I asked him to teach me. I purchased a subscription or a license to the game. It was $29, I think, for my copy. And since I didn't know how to play, I had to ask him to show me how to play. And so through some time in person, we were able to get the basics of maneuvering the character around. And then ultimately, I was able to get a subscription to something that Minecraft it calls a realm. And a realm is a world where you can connect across the internet and two players can join in. They have to be invited, so this is a critical part, is you don't want to find a server or a realm where other people are in there, because there you have susceptibility to all sorts of dangers. But if you have a realm of your own, you can invite your grandchildren to join in with you, and then you can play the game along with them. We set up a set time on Saturday afternoons where we were playing this game with 3 of my grandchildren across different time zones and different parts of the country, and it worked out really, really nicely. We've done this for quite a few months now together and built a virtual world for ourselves. It's a building game. It's not a shoot 'em up game, and that's part of my I would say, concern I have about online gaming in general is that there's a lot of games out there that I would be very cautious about. And so it's really important to check those out ahead of time and make sure that you're not bringing trouble into your relationships with your grandkids or introducing things to them that they don't need to be exposed to. But if you pick carefully, you can find games that work and that are really healthy and fun to do. I do have some limits, though, and suggestions about limits that I wanted to talk about, though. And that is that whenever you're talking about online gaming or any kind of screen time for that matter, don't really suggest that kids spend a lot of time on online gaming. It's fun because it gives you an opportunity to connect, and it's part of your social connection. Not a bad problem if you keep it under control. But it's really important that you also recognize that there's so many other good things for kids to do, reading, playing outside. Kids really should be doing those kinds of things for the majority of their time. So I have a host of other games that by doing a little research, I was able to find out exist. There's plenty and plenty of online games that I can't talk to you about, but because I haven't experienced them myself, but and we haven't played around with them with our grandkids. But there are some things that I am interested in trying. For example, I have a subscription to Apple's arcade service, which allows you to download games as part of the service. It's not something it just came with a bundle of other services that Apple offers. But I just tried it, and I was able to download Uno. It's a card game. For free, and it's just a computer version of the Uno card game that you would know. And that's just something that I think I'd like to find out if there's something that we can be doing across the internet with my grandkids and that you could try. I'm going to check them out, and you might consider. I'll post a list of suggested games within the show notes of this call. Well, I hope this is helpful to you. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast if you got something out of it. It really helps out a lot. And let me know what questions you have by leaving some comments within the comment suggestion area of the show. And be sure to tune back for the next episode in this mini-series, which is Connecting with Your Grandchildren Online. I'm going to cover the topic of social media and how we've used that in our family. So until next time, take care. Thanks for joining me on Tech Tips for Seniors. Have a good day. Take care.